to start this out, TwitchCon is a one-of-a-kind experience. At least the first time you go. I don't know about subsequent times, but the first time is pretty intense. Alright, gang, welcome to day one of our trip vlog. Today was quite the doozy. It's Friday. We leave on Wednesday, if that gives you any hints. But, so for...
Today's Saturday.
Fuck. So for months, you know, we've had this roof rack on the car. It was in the last vlog to Minnesota. It really helped us out with the dog crates and shit. But, these bolts on the bottom stick down real far. They point. They long boys.
Well,
So,
show it.
yeah, we'll show you. I'm gonna put them back on. We took them off for a second, so we'll go through all that slowly. But I'm putting them back on right now. But they stick down.
Oh.
So, these bolts here, they stick down. You see that? There's like a half inch of clearance in there. They stick down. So we thought that we couldn't use the sunroof because when you go to tilt it upwards, it's above like an inch. But upon further inspection, we took the front brackets off. I got in the car like so. Turned this bitch on. Now watch the roof, watch the roof. Are you ready? Watch the roof. It go down. It go down. It goes in the fucking roof. It go down. It don't go up there, it go down here. It go down. Why it go down? Who does this? The fuck? Months. Months. It go down. Look at this. When you push this way, it go up there. That was where inch clearance. Look at that. Too big. No, it don't work. So it wouldn't go. But it go down. You see? You see it go down? Why it go down? Oh my god. Months we haven't used it. And it go down. We never knew. It went down. It go down. We never knew.
You're too like proper about it. Just vlog. Like, just go.
All right. Well, after the it go down fiasco, this is my third vlog. Give me a break. We're cleaning the car out because it's a fucking mess. We have 5 dogs. Ranges medium to huge, and by huge I mean absolute fucking unit. And so they get hair everywhere. We'll just take a quick gander. I cleaned the front a little bit. The back really hairy. We're gonna fix all that up nice and good. You know, it's gonna be real. That's ice cream. I'll delete that. That's fine. But getting out all the dog stains, liquids, and whatnot, dirt, just everything, and make it real nice for our friends and make them think that we're not like actual fucking monsters that live in filth all the time. You know, this is our swamp. We like it that way. I can't even begin to describe how much fun it was. And a lot of that may be due to the 9 other people with me. But we'll get into that in a second. So, the vacation starts basically on Monday, September 23rd. Now, it was supposed to start on Tuesday, but Monday is like the day I started cleaning and packing, and I've got some footage of that. A general overview of the things that I brought. We'll roll that now. All right. So we're packing up, and I got a lot of our stuff assembled here. We've got, first of all of the meds we're gonna need. We got Aleve, we got Dramamine, we got some calming pills, we've got some nerve pills, just all of the things that could go wrong on a long road trip, nausea, headache, things like that. We've got glasses cleaner, because a lot of us are some blind motherfuckers. We got a PC repair toolkit and phone maintenance, all around iFixit kit, done. The best one they got. We've got the Joy-Cons and the little extendy bits to our Switch controls, because I'm going to be packing the Switch as well. We've got deodorant. We've got our vest. We've got our batteries are on lock. We got the big boy. We got little boy. And then we've got this big old Bluetooth Beats speaker. Some JBL, the JBL Charge 4. But I'm going to go ask my mom to teach me how to iron, because at the last convention we bought some patches and I'd never put them on the vest, so we're gonna put those on there hopefully today or tomorrow before we leave. But otherwise we got good clothes, we got everything set up. We just gotta pack Kiki's stuff because she's been at work. She'll be at work all day tomorrow, so we'll have to do whatever she can. And it's going well so far. All right. So Mom didn't want to be on camera, but she showed me how to use this nifty little guy here, an iron. We've got the settings on the inside with this button here. We've got the steamer, whatever that does. She didn't explain it, so it doesn't really matter. Oh, you can't see this, okay. Button here, steamer, button she didn't explain. Ironing side, very warm. So, we're gonna stick, I'm thinking, Aperture Science right on the back of these elements. The iron's probably like big enough, yeah. It's looking good. Yo, that's hella easy. That's some cash money right there, dudes. Neat. That's like the easiest shit I ever learned in my life. But so Nope shows up a day early. It was supposed to be like a 2-day trip for him. He was supposed to take it easy, but he fucking flies through all states. He came from fucking Georgia all the way to Texas. Something like a 12-hour drive, 11-hour drive, something like that. But so he gets here and it's hella awkward. Like, I'm not an entertainer in physical reality. This is my platform. You come, you stand over there, I'm over here. We know where the boundaries are. Like, inviting somebody into your home is a much more, like, invasive kind of entertaining. And I don't know how to do it. I've never had to do it. I'm always the one going to the party, not the one throwing the party. So having somebody, like, in my home and having to try to think about, like, okay, like, when should dinner happen? Like, is a normal time? Are you hungry? I'm hungry. Are you not hungry? I'm not hungry. Like, do you need water? Do you want some snacks? Like, or do you, like, play video games? Like, what? How? LAN parties don't happen anymore. My PC is stuck here. If he's out there, like, I don't have extra monitors. I don't have extra tech anywhere besides, like, everything I throw at the stream. So it's, like, just trying to figure out what the fuck's going on. But so he gets in at night on Monday, and it was pretty chill. We had, you know, some food and, you know, watched a movie or whatever, and took it easy. It was awkward, but it was okay. Tuesday, the 24th, we get into that. The start of the day was shocking. Waking up, all that, fine. Kiki goes to work. She worked a double that day. So she was gone the entire day, basically, and in my email that morning, I found a message from Extra Life. They're like, hey, you raised over $100. We're already at 1,700, but that's not the point. Point is, they're like, hey, you beat a milestone. Here's a free fucking code for a G Fuel shaker and starter kit. And I'm like, that's crazy cool. Sign up for that. It's all free until you get to shipping. Shipping you gotta pay for. Items free, shipping isn't. I understand that. So $7 later, it's in the mail. That was crazy. I was hyped about that for the whole trip, basically, until I got home and saw it. But, so that was the start of the day. And Nope, trying to break a little bit of the confusion and awkwardness, he's like, hey, like, do you want to, like, check out the VR shit? And I'm like, hell yeah, I want to check out the VR shit. Are you kidding me? So we come out in the other room here. It's got just a plain old TV. It's got some space. It's got some reach room, you know, stuff like that. And he sets up his fucking micro PC. Like, I assure you, you have not seen a smaller PC that is customizable. Like, yeah, you could buy a fucking Nook, which is all the power in one box you can't touch. He custom built PC. 2070 graphics, high-end CPU, all air-cooled. And 90% just radiator. Like, that's it. It doesn't have a whole lot of movement. It's just mostly just the radiator. It gets pretty warm. It gets a tad warm. But we're not trying to push temperatures and we're not trying to do anything crazy, so it works. It works really well. He gets it set up in about 30 minutes. It takes 30 minutes to set up the valve index. Plugs everything in, you know, puts the headset on, you know, calibrates the controllers, and then like designates the room physically with the controller. Like, this is the floor, this is like the ceiling-ish area, you know, this is the zone we're working in, like, gives us a good area. We start playing games. Now, Beat Saber was the start, because that's how you get kind of into... It's a good introduction, I felt. I felt it was really nice to get into the game and feel VR with just sticks and standing. Like, you can kind of wiggle, and you're like, okay, you gotta duck around some stuff. It's not super invasive, it's not super movement, it's a little bit of everything, and it's, you know, some skill and coordination. It lets you focus on something besides being nauseous. And then I'm like, okay, like, that's fun and all. I dig the swords, but I want like a real game, like a fun, like a directive fighting, shooting, whatever, something. And he's like, well, I mean, there's Gorn, and I'm like, the fuck is that? He's like, it's a gladiator thing in the arena. I'm like, fucking do it, like, do it, like, please. And he's like, yeah, sure, it's like $10-20. So he he buys that, and we're playing. And when I say we're playing, it's about the first 3 or 4 levels. And then the skill kind of just starts doing this. And Nope is not a Gorn player. Nope is not driven for, like, gladiatorial combat. He does really good, but then, like, when there's, like, strategy, he just kind of gets stuck flailing at shit. Not his forte. That's fine. Some people don't play platformers. Some people don't play FPS. It's whatever. He's an FPS guy. He's a run and gun. Shoot him up. He proved that later in the trip. We'll get to that later. But so, I get into Gorn. And the Valve Index, you can physically grab shit. It grips around your palm here, and you physically grab the controls. And the hand in game physically moves. Like, it tries to get every finger. Some games aren't programmed for that, but it does, like, the whole thing. And that was... I was fucking immersed into the 3D world. This was the groundbreaking moment for, like, my life, my passion. Like, I cannot explain enough how much I am going to buy one of these and never stop playing. I'm going to forget that I have a desk and PC. I'm just going to be living in VR on stream the rest of my life. Probably still going to play Siege, though. It's a good game. But it starts out, you know, first floor is 3 rooms, and you fight 3 bosses, move up floor, 3 bosses. And there's, like, 7 floors, and then, like, the bottom floor has, like, the creative room, slot, like, onslaught wave, choose your weapons kind of thing. So we start up, like, base 1. And it's like, learn to grab your sword and salute the Emperor and start the fight. And it's like kind of shield sword, pokey stabby, you kind of get a feel for what's going on. The guys are these big hulking dudes with tiny fucking Canadian hands and little feet, and they just kind of hobble at you. And if you're if you're off to like a side, they'll just try to go straight at you and fall in holes. Like they're not super smart, but there's enough of them that it causes a problem, and that's easy. That's a mechanic. It's difficulty by numbers. I like that. The movement was to push down on the pad and like slide the world around, and so I'm like, it should have been more like a fluid like walking motion, but I'm literally like reaching out as far as I can, grabbing the earth and yanking it back this way. And so I'm going from, 6 feet backwards to 6 feet forward, slashing the shit out of somebody. And the game takes into like speed, power, like it tries to physically understand how fast and hard you are flacking this dude in the face. And it does damage. So Nope was hacking it up. He was just like multi-damage, slapping the shit out of their face with speed. But I had the raw fucking power. I was amped to be in this game. And so literally just the fist half the time. You just fucking clack the shit out of their face and it knocks them out. And then you can grab them and throw them in a pit. Like, it is a blast and a half. And then some more. Crushing through all the levels. There's all kinds of bosses with gimmicks. You fight Achilles where he's all fucking armored up except for his one leg because Achilles. And just learning how to use each weapon. The two-handers are kind of dumb and wonky because you can't like feel in your hand where they are. In the controller, you can feel one-handed just because the stick in your hand kind of determines where the sword is. Trying to do two-handers, your hands aren't always in line. Trying to figure out where your arms are and like how the stick should be placed isn't as intuitive for most people, I think. So there's some that are like two sticks on a chain and you swing the chain one side and you flash outwards. And it's a little better, but like two-handed axes and swords just didn't, like trying to hold on to that without being able to put your fists together because you're clacking controllers. It's weird. I didn't like it. Swords, easy. One-handed weapons, axes, mauls, morning stars, beautiful. Hella good. We got some pictures. I'll be flipping through those here. But like it was a blast. And by the end of the day, the fucking visor for the index was soaked in sweat, like beyond wet. Like I had dunked this in a bucket of water. So then by the end of the day, we've had a meal or two, we've let the visor cool off, we've played some more games. Kiki comes home, we do dinner, and we start finalizing our packing for the drive on Wednesday. Wednesday's drive is the long one. It's 15 hours. It's from Dallas to Phoenix, Arizona. Roughly. Not doxing anybody. It's a long drive. It wasn't bad. So I thought the drive was going really well. I've had some new supplements for like my knee joints and shit because I'm a very tall guy. I've got bad knees genetically, things like that. So long drives, usually my knees kind of get locked up and start to ache and hurt. And the whole drive there, I'm great. And I'm like, oh, awesome. These supplements I've had for like a week. They're doing awesome. They're fantastic, whatever. And we get to the desert. And I'm like, oh man, like my knees are starting to ache finally. It's been a good 12 hours. Then I look in the distance. I'm like, what the fuck is that? And Nope, driving at the time, he looks out and he goes, well, that's rain. And I'm like, what do you mean that's rain? What? He's like, yeah, that's the storm rushing. And Kiki's like, yeah, like the storm just rolls over. And I'm like, but you can see it from over here. Like it's way out there. And he's like, yeah, that's how it works. It moves in clouds. And I'm like, I've never seen that before. Like this is new to me. And he's like, that's cool, dude, but like that's just how the world works. Like I understand the science behind it, but physically seeing it after like years of understanding, like yeah, like the fronts move in, the storm has a wave on it, rain creeps in. Seeing the whole storm, the entirety of it from a distance is something I have never experienced. And it actually like shook me. I was like, that's daunting. Like how small do you feel looking at the fucking storm in its entirety miles away? And then it fucking just it nails me. the fucking humidity front that sent my knees into agony. And I realized it wasn't the supplements doing the job, it was the fucking arid desert not making my knees swell up in fucking pain. So the storm is on its way. We're driving past it. It's going to pass behind us, whatever. But that instant fucking front of humidity and cold weather, like in the storm, just not a fun time. Instant aches and groans, not a fun time. So from that day point, I pretty much lived on a leave because once we got to the con, it was walking around and I didn't want to die. And my knees didn't want to die. And the drive, my knees didn't want to die. Like, not sponsored by a leave, but I fucking love a leave. It works on me. May not for some, it doesn't for everybody, but for me, it does perfect. Kiki's more of an ibuprofen kind of girl. But so the drive there is long, pretty uneventful. Like we used liberal amounts of speed where necessary and were applicable. We'll just say that. So we made it in about 14 hours, 13 hours. We cut off about an hour in the whole drive. Like it was a good drive. Using the cruise control in the car, we got it up to maybe 400 miles per gallon, or more, 400 miles a tank. Jesus Christ. So about every 3-4 hours, we were fueling up again, full tank of gas, like 15 gallons. It's pretty good mileage on the 2017 Ford Explorer. But we get to Arizona, and it's beautiful. The mountains have insane amounts of like curvature and these broad vistas. Like Dai talks a bunch of shit about Arizona because, like, you know, he wants to move. He wants to be somewhere else. That's on him. But he is living in a fucking beauty hole. Like, it is a glorious fucking place to see at least once. So we're driving, and the road goes, like, up the mountains, and it's got these curves around the outside, and there's huge, broad landscapes. And after, like, 13 hours in the car, I'm starting to get a headache, and I'm like, okay, like, we're nearing the end. My body is done with being in constant motion 24/7. Like, it's not happy anymore. We get to Dai's, and I get some water, some cold water in my throat. Like, I'm starting to feel a little, like, nauseous, whatever, but, you know, we're not in the car anymore, and I've been in the car for 12 hours. Like, I expected my body to be kind of imbalanced from a lot of driving and a lot of not driving and a lot of driving. We end up going to Denny's, and I get something simple and light, just like a sandwich or whatever. We give it to Dai's, and I'm not feeling well at all. I'm not doing good. And I'm explaining, I'm like, yeah, like my head fucking hurts, and I just feel nauseous. Like I feel like I am dying. And Dai goes, oh, what's the elevation of Dallas? And I'm like, I don't know. So Kiki looks it up. Dallas is 300 feet above sea level. Dai's house, 3,000 feet above sea level. Now, if anyone knows anything about diving, had rudimentary gameplay that hasn't been submerged by Subnautica, changes in pressure happen at changes in elevation. Underwater especially, it's egregious, you know, going down too fast, going down too far too fast, and going up too fast too far can fuck you up. Same thing happens above water. Didn't know that. It's called elevation sickness. It's a fucking bitch. It treats everyone differently. For me, I was just really fucking in pain in my head, and I was sick. I took a nap, woke up the next morning, I was fine. Jacob was telling me how during his time trying to find a place to live in Colorado, there is so much up and down trying to find places to live that he got to the point where he was literally like vomiting all night and he basically had food poisoning without eating. Like that's what he was explaining. I'm like, that's not okay. I'm cool. I got a strong stomach, hearty chest. I've been through some shit. I'll be okay. Like my head just hurts because the pressure difference, my brain is swelling up. I'm getting that big thonk on, and the nauseous just because of like eating and driving, and like I'm okay. I'll be all right. Actually turned out I was all right. So the next morning we get up, we start packing up the car. Dai goes to get donuts. And waking up on that morning was the more surreal of the surreal moments during the trip. Waking up in a place that isn't my house, my bed, it's not a hotel, it's somebody else's home, and that somebody is a person that I've known for basically 2 years and never like physically touched, shook hands with, hugged, whatever. That is a changing moment. Like, for this entire trip, the beginning, Nope was here, but he was staying in the guest room. Like, this was still our house. It was still kind of real, but not real. Like, it was just another day still. Being in a different state on a trek across the country with now 7 people to fit in our car was crazy. Like, there was the excitement the day before. You drive in, you hug everybody, like me and Di, fucking massive people over everybody else. Jacob and Nope and Lycos and everybody feeling just super short because we're literally this much taller than all of them, and they're the tallest in their area, not in our neck of woods, boy. But waking up the next morning and just seeing everybody like slowly getting up, sleeping, whatever, coffee, it was incredible. Like, it just a feeling of awe and the beginnings of a good time. I'm like, this is gonna be fucking crazy. So Di leaves at like 6 a.m. to get donuts. We're planning to leave by like 9. And it takes him forever to get donuts, dude. Like, forever. He was gone forever. Like, I understand he lives, not specifically in Phoenix, and he drove to the nearest place to get donuts, but it was forever. With mountain speeds, it took forever. So we got the entire place packed up, air mattresses deflated and put away. Like, we cleaned the shit out of his place because that was our one night there. We start getting the car packed up. Everyone's got their shit together. We've got the roof rack. Like, we're getting everything packed down. And then Di's mom comes out and she's like, there's supposed to be some rain coming. You might want to cover up the bags on top or something. And I'm like, no, they'll be all right. Like, well, like, it'll just be a little rain. We'll be driving out here. And she's like, no, it's supposed to be a pretty big storm. You might want to, like, I got some garbage bags. We'll just wrap it up. And I'm like, oh, okay. So we got to unpack everything on top and repack it again. Turns out, Di's mom saved our fucking shit. Because it stormed hard. And for a good minute, it was wet. But with the bags to cover everything, nobody got anything wet. It was pretty nice. All the important stuff was in the car. But so we're packing up, and Di gets back in like the nick of time. Like, he shows up with the donuts, and we ransack the donuts while he stuffs his backpack real quick. And then we jump in the car and head out. About 3-4 hours into the trip, Di's like, I didn't pack my sneakers. He's just wearing like his man sandals. And I'm like, wow, good job, dummy. And Brittany's like, yeah, I didn't pack sneakers either. And she's wearing like, not high heels, but like lifted boots, not super comfortable for like walking all the time. And I'm like, okay, y'all are a good pair. y'all are good. Y'all are made together. But the drive there was through fucking elevation and fog and rain and heat. It was just a blast. Started out pretty chill. We were, waking up still, cracking up by the end of it. Make it to the Airbnb about 4 in the afternoon. It's about a 6-hour drive from where we were to San Diego. So at the Airbnb, we meet RyShy. And we're going to gloss over that portion because he likes to maintain his privacy and anonymity. So meeting RyShy and, seeing his fucking swag car and his Gucci bandana and sunglasses and $1,000 shirt. Like, he came ready to show up for the party. And I'm like, all right, dude. So we meet him and everything's super crazy again. Like, everyone's just fucking excited and like just ready to go. We run in, claim rooms. The Swedes show up. Llama and his boy, he goes by Gex online. His name is Linus. I called him Linus the whole time, so I don't think I have a problem with that. Good luck finding a singular Linus in all of the EU. But so Llama shows up, and Llama is a fucking thin boy, like extra thin and triple the meme. Like, Llama was a joke factory the entire fucking time. Because if he didn't understand something, all he had to do was not understand and just say whatever came to mind, and it was hysterical. Because he knew that it was fucking wrong, and it was okay. And if he did know something, he had fucking backup information to fucking slam jokes, like back to back to back to back. Like, it was just painful sides the entire trip. But so they show up while we're unpacking the car, which the car barely fits in the Airbnb. We get there, and we didn't realize that the 2-car garage is 2 small to medium-sized cars. Our car barely fits. Plus, we had to fit the Camaro in there. So, after like the second day, we figured out a good plan. If Ry pulls his car in first, then we can back the Escape or the Explorer in, and we get about this much room for clearance, and we can hold the door, climb out the window, whatever. Like, just get everything out of the car, put 2 cars in, and we're good. They fit. By a hair. But, so we had to go pick up our badges still on that Thursday. Wednesday? Thursday. Wednesday. Thursday. So we still go pick up our badges. So we get over to the convention center, pay our $20 for parking for 5 minutes, and we get in, and the pamphlet says while supplies last, and supplies lasted. Like, they had enough bags and swag and shit that we got there late in the afternoon, and they still had bags to give out, so we got our fucking swag bag with, hold on, we got here. We got our cool TwitchCon swag bag. It says TwitchCon San Diego. And inside this bag, this is mine, good. We have a bunch of neato fucking stuff. So, oh, this one might have been Kiki's, I don't know. But, it came with some pins. Kiki got a pug butt for one of our friends. We've got a little onion thing from Overwatch. My piece de resistance, my most excited bit, was this guy here. A tall boy G Fuel shaker. It's very purple. It looks blue because of lighting issues. But this, like, getting one of these at the con and also getting the Extra Life one beforehand is intense. Like, I was not expecting to get one of these. They're fucking crazy cool and fun, and I'm gonna use the shit out of this from now on. But that was cool. You get your Twitch Prime pin to, you know, either entice you or congratulate you. There was some Magic the Gathering, like starter decks, most of them based on specific colors. So this one I'm assuming is a green deck. We had some Death Water decks and stuff and shit. Then there was this Honda pin from Team Liquid. A Team Liquid Honda pin. Not sure why, but alright, Honda, good shit. There was some like raffle cards and different streaming service cards to like promote, you know, like other kinds of like stream lives and shit. There's a card for 100 bits. I'm not going to show you the back because that would be fucking dumb. Then you got a squad pin from, I don't know. Is squad a game? It's a squad. Or not a pin, it's a dog tag. It's pretty neat. Then we had some extra stuff here. Black Desert Mobile. We got a pin from that while we were out and about. There's a Totoro. That's the one we got in the con store. The unicorn Kiki wanted that's a store. Bunch of pins from Bob's Burgers. Another one of those pins because Kiki got one too. And then some pins from Steven Universe. Shit. Took me a minute. So all of that was a ton of fun. A blast to get. And a great time. Then, after getting to the con, grabbing our badges and stuff, we needed to pick up some groceries. Because if you're going to stay at an Airbnb, they don't have continental breakfast. They've just got a kitchen. So here's one of the marks where next year, when we go, we're planning ahead and doing it very differently. Because 10 people, if you've been counting this far, 10 people in our Airbnb do not all belong in the grocery store. Trying to coordinate 10 people in a grocery store is like herding a bunch of kittens. All of them being of different age groups, different nationalities, and different mindsets, all want to buy different things, and nobody communicated that. So, Nope, Ry, and the Swedes show up at the grocery store first, and by the time our car pulls up with the other 6 people, there's already 2 cases of just singular bottled root beer in the cart. And I'm like, oh, cool, like, that's fine. If somebody's gonna buy that, that's on them. We're at the grocery store specifically to pick up water. After we get there, we realize we need to buy some food, you know, for breakfast and shit. And so, a quick momentary talk between basically 4 of us, Kiki, myself, Jacob, and Nope. They're like, the community food is community pay. Like, the water's for everybody, that's fine. Breakfast is for everybody, that's normal. If you're gonna buy something that you forgot, you need to pay for it yourself, which is obvious to some. So we get the cart all full of shit, and now it's like, okay, what do we need? What are we buying? Di and Brittany have their beer because they're of age. There's the root beer in the bottom. Nobody knows whose it is. And then there's like just the regular community shit. We've got coffee. We've got some pancake mix, some bacon, some water. And nobody's claiming the root beer. And we're like, okay, then put it back. Like, we don't need it. It's garbage. So awkward moment there. But setting up a good boundary for the rest of the trip. That was basically our only hiccup. And that was the first day. So call that a good trip still. So we pay for all that. We get back to the Airbnb. We pack everything up. And then Friday starts. So Friday was a long day. Con day 1. After an early rise and our first slow day in traffic. Traffic is bad, especially trying to get to the con on time. There was an original need to kind of keep the pack together and try to keep us together in the same direction, and that wasn't a good mentality to have. We adapted a little bit, so we lost like Ry and Lycos to go find like their friends and walk around and do what they want to do, and like we became more amiable to just like wandering around and, oh hey, did you see this over here? Did you see, like, covering more of the con in a day and talking about it and then moving on again and coming back and forth was a really much better plan. In the one day, we circled basically 3 times and still missed a bunch of shit. So it's not a 1-day event, but it's basically a 2-day event. So it was nice. We stopped by the G Fuel booth. We met Tawny and Zim for a minute or so, and some of the EMGG gang. If you don't know who they are, they're in the link down below. Nice organization and team I'm a part of. But they were pretty chill and cool. But we had a group of 10. I didn't want to bog down everybody else I know by just hanging out with people that I know. So, kept wandering around, whatever. The opening keynote was the last part of the day. I'm going through memory. The keynote was crazy. During the keynote, I had several emotions. The beginning being, holy shit, that's Ezekiel on stage. I fucking watch him. A lot of people do. But seeing the grand size of like people on stage, events they had going, is daunting to begin with. It took me a minute to push through and realize that it's not daunting because of where they are. It's daunting because of how you have to get there. And there's no set path. There is no ladder to just climb and get to the top of. Making your career on Twitch is a personal and in-depth thing that has a lot of commonalities, but there is no one definitive do and win. So seeing all of that to begin with was disheartening and then very inspiring. Seeing the whole show and seeing the changes they're making and how they're helping, affiliates and partners and people make affiliate, how they're adapting the site to help, first of all, them, which is great. I want Twitch to flourish. I want them to stay around for a while. But bipartisan, to help themselves, they have to help us. Like, if there's more of us, we make more for them. That's just economics. If affiliates make ad revenue, Twitch still gets a portion of that ad revenue. Like, they may lose a little bit, but they're going to gain more affiliates because they want that ad revenue. Like, creating enticement to lose a little but gain a lot. Mathematics. I've been saying that for years. Like, give affiliates more, Twitch will make more. Done. I mean, I guess they're not making the entirety of the ad revenue off of our channel, but either way, irrelevant. Very inspiring by the end of it. And we didn't stay for the whole keynote. We left out a little early because we had a bonfire to go to, as I said. So we get over to, we were staying in Mission Beach, and we go over to the other side of the bay, which like a 10-minute curve around. And we hang out at the beach for a while. We see the ocean. It's like the first time I've actually seen the ocean from a beach of the U.S. Everyone's playing in the water for a little bit, even though it's fucking middle of the night. We walk down to the huge pier and see a bunch of people fishing off the pier. And we walked out to the end. We got some pictures of the city. I'll put some of those in here. But the pier was fun, walking around. We get back to the car. And the battery's dead. Stranded at the beach. Luckily, RyShy and Nope didn't go. I think they were the only two. RyShy and Nope, and I think somebody else. We could only fit 7. 3 people stayed home, so we called them. They picked up some cables, and they came and gave us a jump. Really weird. The car's only 2 years old. Post-thought makes sense. Our car has a lot of electronics, things like that happen. But very bad timing in general. But we're waiting for them to show up, and we're having just as good of a time as we can. Like, trying to not be defeated by the fact that we've got a dead battery. We're still hanging out in San Diego. We're still having a good time with our friends. Really easy to maintain a positive attitude when you're with people that you've known for so long and just enjoy being around. But they show up and they give us a jump. We get out of there. We get back home. And it was just good to be home. Like after such a long day and the car battery dying and like worrying about that for myself, it was nice to be home and just be done. The next day, car started okay, so we left it and we got a full day out of the battery still. So Saturday, to avoid the early morning rush hour traffic of the con and the city, we went about noonish. Saved us some time with sleep. We got some breakfast. Though we did have to park across the street at the Hilton, which was not too bad. Got in flawlessly at the con. Walked on the floor some more, saw some sightseeing. Stopped by the booth that sells the mobile streaming backpacks. Those sons of bitches cost $2,300. God damn. But it's a full backpack, all in one, cam, sticks, Wi-Fi adapters, like a whole shebang. For the whole bag, just the electronics, $2,300. And then there's a secondary fee for like paying for the service on a monthly basis of like your Wi-Fi routers to go uplink and all that from anywhere. Crazy. Stopped by, we saw the HyperX booth. We got some pictures there. Saw fucking Steez, respectable, like hanging out with just a bunch of people. We saw some dancers outside. Roll that clip here. We saw just a lot of good shit happening. A lot of fun times. It's a lot of people. It's a lot of fucking people. And then, so that night, we had dinner at the Old Spaghetti Factory. Yeah? Yeah. So Saturday night was the party at the stadium by the convention. We had dinner at the Old Spaghetti Factory, which is like right down the street from where the entrance was. We waited like an hour or something to get in because we had 10 people. But the dinner was fucking awesome. Like, it was a nice commemorative, like, sit-down meal at a decent restaurant. Our waiter was super nice. He was all about, like, he knew all about TwitchCon. He knew everything was going on. He was super, like, fun to be with. And, like, he fit into our group perfectly as a waiter. And, like, he had jokes. He wasn't afraid of, like, commentary and sass. Like, he was a really good guy. I shouted him out on Twitter. I'm not sure anybody saw it, but I guess whatever. He's a good guy. I want him to make it far in that business. He was really good. So the party starts out weird. You go through the security checkpoint, and we couldn't find Jacob. Literally takes 5 minutes to walk there, 2 minutes to get through security, and Jacob's missing. And I'm like, God damn it. Finally, we get a call from Jacob, and Nope is talking to him. The lady that was scanning him through security told him that his lens on his camera was too long. And so he had to go to a different security where they had somebody else to, like, check the camera. So he had to walk the entire way around the stadium to the other side. Took 20 minutes or something like that. It took us 15 to go just through the middle. It took him extra time to go all the way around. And he gets to that side, and nobody called ahead, nobody said anything, so he just goes in line, and they scan him through just fine. The person doing over there didn't give a shit. So great. But we get in, we're wandering around, Whole lot of people, whole mess of people. The party was down on the field. There was some people sitting up in the bleachers, just watching from afar, having a good time. When we got in, Aura was playing, and she's really good. I'd never heard of her, never seen her before, but she is really nice, and I've added her to my Spotify since then. After Aura was Madian, an EDM DJ who I enjoyed a lot. He's got a good, like, thumping rhythm that I fucking loved. Maybe quarter way through his set, Brady had to go sit down because not bringing good shoes. Their feet hurt and they were tired and they wanted to just sit for a bit. So they chilled over there for the last like 2 hours. Respectable joined us out on the field, met up with us. We were chilling for a while. But then after Madian, with Lil Nas backing out, we didn't know what they were going to do. And we thought they were going to start with Blink. And seeing Blink 182 would have been fun and all, but not really super important. Like beating the traffic out, getting back home, having some sleep, that was a little better. But Blink didn't come out. Some other guy came out and started singing, and I didn't know who they were. I'm like, who the fuck is this? And immediately I am subconsciously collecting sass and shit from everybody because it's fucking Logic. I only know one of Logic's songs. I guess now I know like 7, but he had like a half hour to 45-minute set that he had to fill in before Blink came out because he was in like last minute and crazy. But his set was crazy fun. He has good energy. I like him a lot. And then before Blink 182 started, we went to head out before to beat traffic. On the way out, we ran into Crash. Insert pictures here. He's a really good dude. I fucking love him so much. He fucking dove out of a crowd of people to just slam me into a hug and like he's like, dude, how you been, man? And I'm like, I'm doing good. We had dinner with him the next night, but we'll get to that later. So seeing Crash, got some pictures with him. It was a good time. Got to the car. Got back to the Airbnb. Sat on the roof with like a little gas fire they had. And just chilled for a good night, played some music, had a good time, laughs and abound. Now, Sunday, the final day of the convention, was a strange day. We get up, and the car battery is dead again. So we're already leaving about 11, 12 to go to the con because we don't need to see it that early. And the battery's dead, so Kiki and Nope and myself and a few of us go to the local AutoZone to get a new battery. $200 we didn't plan on spending. But for any of you out there that say that's overpriced, we need the cold cranking apps because we go to sub-zero temperatures every once in a while and we need it. Necessary. And it also stops me from worrying. Fuck off. Get the battery. Show up at TwitchCon. Wander the floor some more. We finally catch one panel. I had a few panels I wanted to see, but they really just kind of evaporated. I wasn't too worried about them. There was the one panel I wanted to see, and that's the copyrights and contracts. So understanding where your legalities are, where other companies' legalities are, and understanding that you need to read contracts. This is a 100% point to drive. Read anything you sign your name on. Anything. All of it. It may seem like bullshit. It could save your life. Like, done and done. I can't stress that enough. That's just, it should be common sense, and it's not, and I'm sad. But catch that panel. We met with Jericho, got some pictures of him there. And then headed home to chill for a bit, play some Cards Against Humanity. Jacob got a good bunch of footage of that. Check out his video, actually, that he's making whenever it comes out. I'll get a link to that. But Cards Against Humanity was a fun time, and we had dinner at like 8 p.m. over at Joe's Barbecue something. I forget. It's a San Diego staple, but super good place. Meet Crash and his gang there. Party of about 25 with us included, which was a sizable amount. I don't think we used all of it, but we planned for all of it. And let me tell you, like, I fucking love Crash. Like, he is such a good guy. He is everything that I look for in streamers. His offline personality is the exact same as his online personality. Who he is on stream is who he is in real life. The only difference being chat isn't there to fuck him up all the time. So hanging with him, like, he just gives off this fucking aura of confidence and like empowerment and just joy, dude. Like, it is just pure, unfiltered joy. Like, I don't think there is a time that he would not feel confident in a direction to go or take more than a half step back and go, okay, new plan, let's go this way. Like, he is just brilliant, forward thinking, like, deserves to be partner, Twitch. You hear me? Partner him! Do it! Okay, but dinner with him was crazy fun. Our waiter there was super into it as well. He didn't know too much about Twitch, but he was totally down to have a great time with all of us and was in on the jokes and ready for like full frontal comedy. But man, it was a blast. Meeting, we met Mystical May, like just a lot of the Crash Pad gang was there, and it like it's such a good group of people. They're so nice, they're so fun, just awesome, dude. The food was good too, but crazy fun. The dinner alone was worth the entire trip. Bringing everybody and seeing everybody was worth the entire trip. Would do again. So now we get to Monday, and Monday was our relaxed day. Monday is the day that 90% of people left, and we didn't want to deal with that traffic and that noise. So Monday, we chilled out, we played fucking VR all day. Everyone got into it. Dai's hooked, I'm hooked. Llama's already been hooked, and he didn't tell anybody that he was a Beat Saber pro already, so he showed us up. We played horseshoes, hand grenades, and hot dogs, and that's a fun fucking game. Like, VR is just my next frontier. Like, I am so ready to just get into it. And then all the while Jacob was doing his interviews for his video, which again I'll find the clip for and get his entire saga of information. But that whole day of chill was really worth it. Like, it was a nice low-key day, having a good time, a lot of jokes, a lot of fun. It was a good plan. Like, not leaving so fast and having a day to just kind of hold on to the moment. But Jacob left that night. He flew out that night because he had to get back to class on Tuesday. So jet lag sucks to be him. The next morning, Lycos flew out of San Diego Airport, and we dropped the Swedes off at the bus station because they had to go back to LA to fly out there. And then Tuesday, we drove out back to Arizona. It was a good long trip full of fun and joy and a bunch of sleepers. I was the only one awake for a good 2 hours of that trip. Made it back to Arizona. One more stop at Denny's for dinner. No elevation sickness this time. Was ready for it. No sickness. We get back. A good night's rest there, and in the morning we send off Nope, Kiki, and I back to Dallas. That drive was long and arduous. A lot of fun though. Watched or listened to some podcasts. Made it home. Nope left the next morning. And now we're all back safe and sound. But the ending finale is the whole trip as a whole, meeting everybody, seeing everybody, is 100% worth it. Like, I cannot stress that enough. Like, it was a great trip, and it will be hard to beat. The most lavish and extravagant bonanzas ever have a hard time overcoming just the raw joy of meeting people you've wanted to meet for so long and having like a personal connection to just enough people, like finding those friends that you may or may not have in high school, finding those people that are just similar to you in basically every regard. Like, during the drive, Kiki and Brittany were giggling the entire time because Di and I weren't looking at each other, but being in the front two seats, they were behind us. And like during songs, we would just start dancing at the exact same time in the exact same way. Like, we're fucking twins. And just having that kind of level of just mental connectivity between the entire group was a great time. Like, I am stoked to plan for next year. We're already planning for next year. Like, I want to get more vlogs out. I want to get more recordings. I want to get more done. this trip was good. I'm glad I didn't record as much as I'd hoped to, because I did enjoy being part of the group more this time. The second time, we've already passed all those boundaries. We've already broken all those ley lines. Like, streaming the entire thing is going to be a blast. I can't wait. TwitchCon 2020, I'm coming for you. But with that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. My name is Kazarny. I stream currently every Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, uploading to YouTube every other day. That may change soon. I have a new job opportunity I'm taking part of, so we'll see what that happens there. But links down below to the Discord. We're partnered with Humble Bundle. We are a part of Eastern Media GG, a gaming organization. We are a partner with MC Pro Hosting. We have a Minecraft server. Join the Discord to find that. And down below, I will link Jacob's YouTube channel. Go give him a sub and check him out. Put the bell on. Wait for him to upload his video. He'll take a lot more time and he'll have a lot more talent in editing. I'm not as good at that, and I also don't have a background in the film industry. So, don't compare the two. He's leagues above me. But I hope you guys have a great rest of your week, and we'll see you on stream. Bye.